how's it going, guys? So it's Tuesday, and yeah, yesterday the market was a little bit weird. There wasn't really much going on, and I think that basically a lot of people are trying to price in what's going on for the 10th, which is the CPI data release. So I think that the market right now is very cautious, just like how we were before the FOMC meeting um, on January 25th and 26th. I think that this is the kind of market that we're actually looking at the moment. But yeah, anyway, let's cover some news today. All right, let's look over at the stocks closed lower at end of choppy trading day. So yeah, like what I said before. Okay, over here you can look at the brown line, which is the Dow, the Nasdaq. Sorry. So look over here at the Nasdaq. It went all the way to almost like 1%, and then afterwards it just kept on going down and down and down, and then it just ended at negative 0.6%. Same with S&P. Dow Jones tried to really go up, nearing to the end of the trading day, but that didn't really happen. Ended up flat as well. So yeah, like I said, I think this is basically how the market is right now. They're just very cautious. We don't know what is going to happen. We're not sure if we're going to be getting a surprise beat on CPI. We are not sure if we're going to have a surprise miss on CPI. No one is absolutely sure. But of course, people are really trying to price in for the action that we are supposedly having for CPI to begin with. So yeah, CPI is going to happen on the 10th of Feb. The next FOMC meeting is going to happen on the 15th to 16th, which we'll be getting Jerome Powell speaking on the 16th. So that will most likely be when we actually hear the basis point increment for the rate hikes, because that's when the taper actually ends. So yeah, okay, let's see. Stocks have a turbulent start to the year, amplified in the recent day by extreme moves in the big tech stocks. Last week saw a record-breaking decline in Meta Platforms. Biggest rise since 2015 for Amazon. And companies posted quarterly results Friday better than expected. Jobs report turned trader attention back to central bank policy, which is set to tighten as the economy continues to recover. Okay, so over in this one, basically, we have to talk about the 5 company, which is your FANG, which is your Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, Alphabet. Okay, so these 5 companies are basically the biggest tech company in US, and they all posted their earnings. And yeah, well, there are a lot of weird misses on guidance, good beat on earnings with scam reports. But yeah, I'll cover all of them tomorrow in my Wednesday video. That will be out tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, they actually talk about the Friday's better than expected jobs report. And that kind of helped with crypto. So right now, for people who are unaware, at this time of recording, Bitcoin is currently at $44,300, Ethereum at $3,115, Polkadot at $22. So basically, crypto is trying to recover, kind of looking slightly better right now. I think that it would be better for people who want to play into the crypto wave upwards again. If you are interested in playing that kind of wave, you can buy into mining companies like what I am doing right now. I'm buying calls into Hut 8 mining, and also I'm looking into a position for Marathon Digital. But right now, I am a little bit cautious about cryptocurrency, because I already have exposure to cryptocurrency as a whole. I got about 13% or so in cryptocurrency right now, and I do not want to put in too much even into my stocks that is related to cryptocurrency as much. And because of that, yeah, I'm only playing options on Hut 8 at the moment. I'm currently up about I think like 80% on a very small exposure of my options for Hut 8. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing for this current turn of things. On Monday, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq wavered through the day before turning negative in the afternoon, dragged lower by some of the heavyweights and other tech companies. So yeah, I think what's actually happened is also institutional money is really big in this current matter. People are we are right now kind of doing this whole retail versus the juggernauts, the whole institutional investors, where they have so much big money, where the retail investors are not able to really make a difference unless we actually make a united stand, such as what happened with AMC and GME. But right now, it's very hard for retail investors to really earn money per se, unless if you actually just gradually invest in the S&P, invest in SPY, invest in your QQQ. Those are the ones that will eventually make you money in the long run. But if you're already stock picking, a lot of time you're getting destroyed by all this institutional investor because they got more money. They can easily short the company they are long on. Just look out for all the short interest, and you can know if you're gonna get destroyed or not. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been. We've been taking advantage of some volatility, like I said. We have been adding to some of the tech names during the past few weeks. So yeah, a lot of them are actually adding more names into the tech names, because right now I think a lot of the tech companies are ridiculously undervalued, like ridiculously undervalued. Like I'm pretty sure, like your Autodesk, your Adobe, the Nvidia, like all of them are very undervalued, and I am very interested in looking for a position there somehow. But of course, all of this position that I always speak of require money, and I think that's the biggest issue for us retail investor, is that we have to always try our best to, invest into better companies in the long run. But okay, anyway, enough about yesterday's stocks. All right, Frontier buying Spirit Airline in a cash and stock deal. I'm pretty sure they already released the amount. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 6.6 billion. Is it? Yeah, okay. Valued at $6.6 billion, including the assumption of net debt and operating leases. Of course, this is pretty good for Spirit Airlines, which is why they actually went up. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm actually quite surprised that Frontier is going to be buying over Spirit Airline, but I guess it kind of makes sense to do this acquisition. And you know what's the funny thing? I realized that, especially right now, in this current sudden increase in M&As, after Microsoft did the acquisition of Activision, Sony did for Bungie. Right now, we got Frontier doing for Spirit. We have talks about Amazon buying over Peloton. And now for the next news, a nice segue in. Nvidia, SoftBank calls off blockbuster ARM deal. So right now we already know about the whole Nvidia wanting to acquire ARM, which is an IoT company. We actually went through the news, I think, about 2 weeks ago. And over here, they're saying that Nvidia and SoftBank are abandoning a blockbuster deal for the US semiconductor giant to acquire chip design specialist ARM after regulators raised antitrust concerns. And yeah, because over here, I did see that the SoftBank intend to take ARM public after Nvidia decides to ditch on the deal, which I think was I mean, I don't really have a particular opinion on that per se. But yeah, the two companies said in a joint statement on Tuesday that they agreed not to move forward with the transaction because of significant regulatory challenges. SoftBank, which owns ARM, said that if it plans to pursue a public listing for a UK-based chip business, the US graphics chip giant in September 2020 agreed to buy ARM for $40 billion from SoftBank in what would be the chip industry's biggest deal ever. The nominal value of the deal had risen along with Nvidia's share price that has advanced sharply in intervening time amid booming semiconductor demand. So yeah, over here basically they're just saying that Nvidia's not going to be doing the deal, and yeah, I'm not sure, man. Like now it becomes SoftBank is the one that wants to bring ARM out. I guess it's very confusing what they're trying to do over here. So, because in this article, they are basically saying that SoftBank don't want to do it as well, I'm guessing. But yeah, let's see. The company said SoftBank stands to pocket a 1.25 billion breakup fee from the failed transaction with Nvidia. Okay. SoftBank didn't want to do it as well. So yeah, apparently No one's doing anything with ARM, I guess. Okay, so this is a dead deal, I guess. That's lame. Okay, and now for the final one, which is the most important one. Peter Thiel is finally free to go all in on far right politics. So, for people who do not know who Peter Thiel is, he is more well known as a 50% Republican. There's more towards a democratic side of things due to his positioning in Facebook as a director, and he is also the mentor of Zucks. And right now, he's finally giving up his board seat on Facebook, stepping down out of Facebook. And they're actually talking about him making a play for Trump's restoration. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting because I think there's going to be a lot of political talks around this. And yeah, so for years, even Facebook came under increasing scrutiny from Washington politicians and regulators. The controversial billionaire Peter Thiel kept his seat on the company's board and remained his position as one of the Silicon Valley's most important power brokers. So previously, he was already a politician to begin with, and then afterwards, in 2005, he took a seat in the Facebook's board of directors, and he has been there ever since, until now, where he decided to step down. And yeah, this basically will spare Meta Platforms from added political headaches because we are also taking into consideration of what happened on Jan 6, 2021, with the entire protesting that actually happened in the Capitol Hill. And right now, if Peter Thiel continues to stay on Facebook and he also wants to help with Trump's restoration, that will really bring a lot of trouble for Facebook, without doubt. And yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense for him to actually step down from Meta Platforms, for him to actually continue with his political side of things. Right now, he's going to be going all in on the far right politics. So for people who are unaware of how the whole far right and far left work, for the far right, politics basically are the people who are more known as the GOP or the Republicans, and for the far left are people who are more into the socialism and communism, and well, people tend to give them a shorthand as the Democrats party in the United States. So Peter Thiel is more of a Republican side of things, but of course, because when he was in Meta Platforms, he's not really able to really push a political agenda as much as he would like to. But he is more towards a far right kind of person. And so, yeah, because of how he's able to step down from the board of directors in Meta Platforms, now he's able to really proceed with his own viewings on his political direction of things. And well, since he is more of a far right politician to begin with, yeah, we might really see more movement with him and Donald Trump in the future. So yeah, I think that's kind of what we're all thinking about, because he did help with Donald Trump back in the election of 16. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. So he sold a lot of his stock shortly after the company went public in 2012. And then, privately critical of the social network, he even acted as an intermediary between Zucks and Donald Trump. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he spoke at the 2016 Republican National Convention, served as a member of the presidential transition team. So yeah, he's more towards the Donald Trump side of things. So yeah, very far right on things. But the relationship between Thiel and Zuckerberg has grown chillier, especially over the last year, as Thiel became a prominent supporter of political candidates who have added Zucks to their list of foes, targeting him alongside civil rights activists, Democratic politicians, private equity executives, and others they say are ruining America. But yeah, I mean, it's just politics, I guess. Yeah, I mean, okay. This is basically just them talking about how what Peter Thiel have done in the political side of things. Okay, boring. All right, now for the last news. Apparently, there's not really a lot of news in the market right now because everything is kind of covered. Nvidia, the Frontier with Frontier Spirit deal, the Peter Thiel deal. Matrix co-founder, co-producer sues Warner Bros. Over HBO Max release. Basically, the same one with Scarlett Johansson with Disney Plus, the same exact issue as well. The divided Supreme Court allows Alabama congressional map for now. Okay, this is some GOP stuff. Yeah, quite boring for news in terms of non-political stuff. Peter Thiel, yeah, okay. Everyone is talking about Peter Thiel. This is interesting. Cathie Wood dumps $142 million of Twitter stock before earnings. And I think this is very important because if that's her point of view, she's thinking that Twitter might most likely, miss on earnings. And personally, I think that Twitter missing on earnings is not that likely. But of course, after what we saw with Facebook, I think that is also a possibility. But of course, at the same time, we do have earnings on Snapchat to kind of balance things out. Snapchat and Pinterest kind of did quite well. Only Facebook was the only one that really get destroyed. I feel that Twitter might be an interesting one, but I wouldn't really exactly want to play with it. I'm not sure how the earnings would go. So yeah, this might, honestly speaking, without knowing, this might be super duper dumb for Cathie Wood to do so, or super duper smart for Cathie Wood to do so. I do not think that an ETF should be playing with earnings, but Cathie Wood likes to do all this kind of thing with her ETF. I don't want to judge. So yeah, so be it. I'm not sure if Twitter is gonna be doing well or not. Let's see if we're getting earnings on Twitter. Are we getting it today or tomorrow? I know that we're getting Pelotons today, right? Yeah, we're getting Pelotons today. Let's see. Oh, we're getting BP today. Oh, I think we will be getting it later on. Oh, we're getting Enphase as well. Okay, that's cool. Lyft. All right. Yeah, I don't think we're getting Twitter here. I think Twitter should be the day after or so. Whoa, Disney, CVS, nice. Uber is also going to be reporting soon. Twilio, nice. Let's see, do we have Twitter? I'm not sure when does Twitter actually report. I'm almost certain that it should be this week though. Twitter, yeah, okay. Twitter is going to be reporting on the 10th, Thursday. Which should also be when CPI report comes out. So yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. Since if you're actually taking into consideration, there are two things for Twitter to really look out for: CPI report and also earnings. So if CPI misses, aka very high inflation, plus earnings miss, would basically set Twitter down 20%, and that would make headlines without doubt. Or if CPI beats and then Twitter earnings beats, then we might see 20% up or 30% up on Twitter, or even 50% up. That's the crazy thing about Twitter at the moment. So we do not know what will happen with that. So yeah, like I said, Cathie Wood might be a genius, might be stupid, but we'll see how it goes. All right, now that's probably the last news. Then Meta renews warning to the Europe countries. It will be forced to pull Facebook because right now they are threatening to pull Facebook and Instagram from Europe if it's unable to keep transferring user data back to US with the whole negotiation on the data deals as well. The EU regulators have for months been stuck in negotiation with the US to replace transatlantic data transfer pact that thousands of companies relied on, but which got struck down by the EU Court of Justice in 2020 over fear citizens' data isn't safe once shipped to the US. But yeah, I'm not sure what Meta Platform is really doing right now because I think they're kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. They're really not really going through a very, very safe route. But of course, I can see why they are doing this because if they do not get the data on the EU side of things back to US, they are unable to continue their business because basically, Meta Platforms kind of earn money via their data to begin with. So without all this data, this was gonna be quite destroyed. And I think this is more like a do or die situation for Meta Platforms. If EU is not in this entire thing, Facebook is already not in China. If it's not gonna be in EU as well, Facebook is gonna just be down to like a small part of Asia and also the US. That's about it. And I think that's not what Facebook is going to go for. And if this doesn't go through for Facebook, I can easily see Facebook dropping even more money. Another 10 more percent or even 20 more percent to go before we actually find the bottom of Facebook. Right now, that's kind of how it is for Facebook. I don't want to be bullish on Facebook either right now. I don't think I want to be buying on the dip on Facebook. I don't want to be buying the dip on Netflix just yet. I think that there's still a lot of catalysts to come, fear catalysts to say the least. And these are the catalysts that we are most afraid of, and we need to really get through all of them first before we actually see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have for today's news, and I have to go and prepare for dinner in a bit. But I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.